Alright, hello guys, how's it going? In today's video, we're going to be talking about an extreme upcoming pattern where we could see some cooler air move into the eastern United States, but also a return to that heat wave out west. Anyway, before I get into the video, I would ask that you do subscribe if you do like weather-related content, and also be sure to like the video and leave a comment down below, because those two things help my algorithm out so much as I'm trying to get the word out about these videos to as many people as possible to let them know this weather is coming. Thank you so much for all those things. For today's comment of the day, I want to know, are you ready for the fall time yet, or are you still enjoying the summertime? Let me know in the comments down below what you think, and I'll be picking one of those for tomorrow's video. Anyway, let's get straight into this video, and first things first, we're taking a look at our temperature anomalies here from the European model. We're starting out at basically last night, actually, and as you can see, we've been in a pattern of mostly warmer in the northern half of the country. As you can see, that's where the warmer than normal conditions are mostly at. We see specifically the Northwest and the Rockies have some above normal temperatures, but this just is not significant. This isn't like that heat wave we had months ago, and likely you feel like it's pretty pleasant, actually, considering how bad it once was. I think it's going to get a lot worse than what you're seeing right here, so stay tuned for that, because later on in the video, we're going to be talking about all of those things. For the Southwest, you can see there's far below normal temperatures there in the yellow and blue regions. California, Nevada, Utah, Arizona, even New Mexico a bit as well. We see some of those below normal temperatures extend into the plains and even the southeast, but it's kind of spotty and a lot closer to normal for those regions. Now, let's go ahead and take this towards about Tuesday afternoon, or today from the time I'm making this video. And actually, if you take notice, you can see that mostly we've seen cooler than normal conditions actually expand a little bit here, specifically there for the west and also the southeastern half of the country. We do see still some warmer than normal conditions in the northwest, but it has receded certainly, which is super interesting. Also, the northeast, the mid-Atlantic have a little bit of some warmer than normal conditions around as well, but that should be coming to an end as we move later into this video, believe it or not. We are expecting some teleconnections, which is basically our PNA, our AO, our NAO. You've heard me talk about these things many different times. All you need to know that is all of these things are heading in a direction that is basically suggesting that there will be colder than normal conditions moving in to the eastern half of the country, and far warmer than normal conditions into the western half of the country. The models reflect this, so we're going to see that happen later on. We're also going to talk about the teleconnections later on as well and show you guys those things so you can see more specifically what I'm talking about. But for now, what we're going to do is we're going to move on, and we're going to move on towards about Wednesday afternoon on July 28th, and then we're just going to move on beyond that in just a moment. Alright, now here we are taking a look here at our temperature anomalies here for Wednesday afternoon here on July 28th, or tomorrow from the time I'm making this video. We can see that the west coast has become much warmer than normal, even for California, and then especially obviously Oregon and Washington, where it already was warmer than normal. The southwest is still dealing with some pockets of colder air, but not nearly as cold as it was. The Gulf states and then the southeast are also dealing with some colder than normal conditions, and the northeastern half of the country. Super interesting pattern we find ourselves in, and you can even see the north central United States is dealing with some above normal temperatures here by this point. This is all going to change rapidly as we're going to see most of the warm head west and most of the cooler air head east. We're going to have to watch this pattern unfold in just a moment. So let's go ahead and take a look at Thursday, July 29th during the afternoon, and as you can see, there is some warmer than normal conditions in the southeast, but overall, the eastern half of the country is cooling by this point. We see out west, we see a lot of those warmer than normal conditions expanding, even some of those brown shades showing up there for Oregon, especially along the coast. This is not looking good, and it looks like it's rapidly heading towards another heat wave, just as we saw a couple weeks ago. Maybe not quite as intense, obviously, but kind of similar. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at Friday afternoon on July 30th. And as you can see, the west warms up even further. Widespread grays and browns now, which indicates areas of 17 to 30 degrees above normal, which is significant, obviously, a significant departure from what is typical for your region. We still see some warmer than normal conditions set up over the southeastern United States, but it's not going to last very long as we're going to see a cool down move in. Speaking of a cool down, look at all those greens and blues up there for the Great Lakes, the Ohio Valley, the upper Midwest there, the New England states, even down there for the Four Corner states. This is all rapidly pushing towards the southeast, and it will eventually take over the southeast as there is some reds, but it is eventually going to be overtaken by these colder than normal conditions. Let's just move this towards Saturday, July 31st here in the afternoon hour, and look at the northwest, guys. Bright grays, almost white shades showing up. That is indicating areas of 25 to 35 degrees above normal there in Washington, Oregon, and northern Idaho as well. Significantly above normal temperatures here by the end of July, just a few days from now. As you can see, the southeast still has some yellows, but those greens and blues have closed in, kind of gotten closer and closer and closer to pushing towards the southeast. And by the time we reach the afternoon hours of Sunday, August 1st, you can see that mostly the southeast is beginning to get overtaken by this point finally. But also, that heat wave in the west is kind of coming to an end, which is super interesting as well, a brief end here. We also see some greens around for Idaho, Oregon, Nevada, Utah, Arizona, Colorado, especially there. A lot of blues going on for the United States by the beginning of August. And by the time we reach August 2nd, it's clear that the eastern United States is dealing with a big cool down, a significant cool down here, bringing those greens, which is anywhere from 10 to 15 degrees below normal. So if your average temperature is 90, you're at about 75 or 80 degrees. So obviously a very significant difference there, a significant departure from what is typical. And this is pretty widespread actually. So pretty significant cool down, much needed. The west is warming up a little bit, especially up there in the northwest. Now what we're going to do is we're going to move on towards some days in the future, Tuesday, Wednesday, and even Thursday there. And then we're going to take a look at some teleconnections in just a moment. Now here we are reaching August 3rd here on Tuesday afternoon. And as you can see, that cool down has fully overtaken the eastern half of the country. This is a significant cool down that is expected and a much needed one. I'm sure a lot of people are happy about this, especially the Great Lakes and the Ohio Valley there are dealing with a significant cool down. Also areas near the Gulf Coast and the Deep South as well. And then all the way up through Texas, Oklahoma, New Mexico, Colorado, Utah, Wyoming, and Idaho especially as well. So some of those southern Rocky states and Four Corner states are also seeing a significant departure from normal in the colder direction. The Northwest is also dealing with that warmer than normal conditions as well. And even by the time we reach Wednesday, August 4th, and that's going to be the afternoon hours as well, we see that warm up in the Northwest is getting even more significant. The cool down in the East is just as significant for different regions. And this same pattern sticks around here for Thursday, August 5th, and that's the afternoon as well. Warm in the West, cold in the East. Nothing has changed, and we don't really see an end to this pattern in sight. Now here's our teleconnections. The AO, when it's in its negative phase, encourages colder than normal conditions for the United States. And in its positive phase, above that zero line there, the darker line in the middle, that would encourage warmer than normal conditions for the United States. And as you can see, we're going to be mostly actually negative on this chart, with the exception of a little bit of a hump there around Tuesday. So we will see about that. That's going to be Tuesday the 3rd there, kind of Monday the 1st as well, but that's going to be very brief. Now, the NAO, when it's in its positive phase, encourages warmer than normal conditions in the eastern United States, and in its negative phase, it encourages colder than normal conditions in the eastern United States. As you can see, it's not really working because it's in its negative phase right now. It's going to head towards its positive phase briefly, but then kind of at its neutral line. Super interesting. And then finally, our PNA here, or Pacific North American Oscillation. In its positive phase, it encourages warmer than normal conditions in the west and colder than normal conditions in the east. And then in its negative phase, it's the opposite. Cold in the west, warm in the east. And as you can see, it is going to stay in its positive phase for quite a while, and that is that significant heat wave in the west that we're seeing is driven by the PNA, and then that colder than normal conditions that move into the eastern United States is also encouraged by this positive PNA. It's going to go negative, which could mean the warmer than normal conditions could return to the eastern United States by about the 7th or 8th of August. So again, that heat wave could move east, and then a cool down could move to the west because of this PNA heading negative, if that is what it does. Anyway, for today's confidence tab, we're at a 5 out of 6. We've only talked about the upcoming pattern, and I feel quite confident about it. Now, for today's comment of the day, I asked you guys yesterday, what do you think this upcoming hurricane season is going to be like now that we've had a few months to watch it unfold? And right here, Heather Smith said, I think hurricane season is going to have a late start, but we're definitely going to get some major hurricanes before it's said and done. And that's kind of the feeling I have as well. Maybe a near normal hurricane season or a slightly above normal hurricane season, but I think it's going to pack a punch this year, even compared to last year with the more major hurricanes, just because last year it was a lot of storms, but we didn't see quite as many massive major hurricanes as you could possibly see in a very big hurricane season. So that could be comparable or even worse this year with the major storms. For today's patron highlight of the day, I want to thank you all for supporting the channel, but especially our platinum patrons: John Benbenick, James Wade, Dovey Nagel, Larry the Pan, and Donna Carnes, alongside our diamond patrons: Bill Roberts, Marcus Connolly, Noah Harley, Michael Cordalesa, Catbite, Charles Stinnett, Cindy Klein, Mark J, Luke Valego, Gary's, John Calisi, Dwight Phelan, and Steven Crenenthal. If you'd like to be a part of this Patreon screen today, you can do so by joining our very exciting Patreon page in the description and in the pinned comments down below. I would also like to thank our channel members Hair Firms 1 and Catbite as well. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to destroy the like button, leave a comment down below, and as always, subscribe for more weather-related content. I will see you guys in the next video.